We are gathered today to celebrate Love the Boot Week. All throughout Louisiana this week, we're coming together, schools, businesses, families, local government, our nonprofit partners, and we are cleaning up Louisiana. There'll be litter cleanups, there'll be people planting trees and planting gardens, weeding gardens, removing graffiti, painting park benches. You name it, they'll be doing it. All in an effort to keep our state beautiful and clean.
I couldn't be more excited. 3 years ago when the legislature moved Keep Louisiana Beautiful under my office, we had about 50 groups clean up Louisiana. Last year, the last 2 years, over 700 groups in all 64 parishes had groups clean it up. We set a high goal this year of 1,000. As of this morning, 1,050 groups have signed up to help us clean up Louisiana. That is so important to see the love and passion people have for their state. And it's important for another reason. If you pick up litter for a day, you're about 80% less likely to litter again. So we're making progress. This is no longer just a week cleanup. It is a movement. And we're going to keep our foot on the gas until we have a clean Louisiana and we put the paradise back at Sportsman's Paradise. It damages our wildlife. It clogs up our drainage system. It's ugly. The quality of life for our people, our visitors, and tourists and business. I remember many years ago before I was in politics, the head of Nissan got up in New Orleans East and said, you know, the education system here is not what it needs to be. And I don't want my people living in an area that doesn't care about keeping their city clean. There's trash all over. And that plant is in Jackson, Mississippi. And every time I pass it, I think about that trash had a big impact on them deciding not to locate in Louisiana. So this is something that we all can do together and clean up our state to give us a little bit better edge on not only making it better for us to live here, for business coming here, for tourists coming here, and we're making an impact. If you realize the harm you do and how little effort it takes to keep it in your car, clean out the back of your pickup truck, walk over to a garbage can, we spent $93 million last year cleaning up your mess. If you don't litter, we can use that $93 million for our kids, health care, fixing our roads. We shouldn't be spending $93 million to clean up everyone's mess. Only about 20% of Louisianans litter, and we pay the price for it. So besides cleaning up litter, you're less likely to litter if you get a ticket. And we're out there with hidden cameras. You can now call the hotline, report litters. We're going to catch you. And if you get a ticket, you're 80% less likely after you get that ticket. But we're going to start finding you and making sure we punish the bad actors. It's not fair to all the people that abide by the law, and it is a law. You can get a ticket for littering, and we want everyone to help us clean up Louisiana.
This is the fourth time Louisiana is doing this event, which is a statewide litter cleanup and beautification effort. At Louisiana Blue, we have been a sponsor since the very beginning. We think having green spaces, clean spaces is good for people's health. It's also good for the people of Louisiana. And we're glad to be kicking off what will be the largest event to date with a number of great volunteers from all across the state. At Louisiana Blue, our mission is to improve the health and the lives of the people of Louisiana. And while most people may think, well, healthcare is different than cleanliness, and in some ways it is, but we know that having green spaces that you can enjoy and get out to is good for your health. You're more likely to be outside, to have fun with family and friends and engage. But we also know there's all sorts of other benefits. Litter impacts flooding, impacts the environment, impacts the health of the people in communities. And so if there are ways that we can make Louisiana a cleaner place, we know it's a way to make Louisiana a healthier place, and we're really proud to be supported in that way. At Louisiana Blue, we are proud to be supportive of this event. We are glad to be joined by a number of our friends and colleagues. We have Miss Louisiana here today. Mike the Tiger is going to be here in a bit. We're glad to see LSU and all those organizations supporting this effort. We at Louisiana Blue have hundreds of volunteers who are going to participate at events across the state this week. We have a series of events we're putting on, but then we have volunteers who are participating in dozens of events statewide. I'd encourage any business, any organization, find a way to get involved. Let's love the boot and make Louisiana a healthier and happier place in the months to come.
Unfortunately, littering is something that can heavily impact our earth, so it's important that we continue to keep our earth clean and keep the boot clean so that we can continue to love the Louisiana that has been so wonderful to us and to keep it looking beautiful for many, many years to come.
I think it opens your eyes. It gives you the opportunity to sit back and look at how much litter is really out there and what's driving the litter. How do we educate folks across the state to use the receptacles that are available? Let's don't throw it on the street. Let's don't throw it in our waterways. Let's throw trash away that needs to go find a home in a landfill, but also all the recyclables that are available. Let's keep those out of the landfills and let's keep repurposing those and give them a longer life.
I tell my own children who ask me or who'll tell me, well, I didn't put it on the ground, why should I pick it up? Well, if we all have that attitude, we're never going to have a clean Louisiana. We all have to decide what we want for our state to become, what we want our state to look like. Everybody, no matter what your age, everybody can be part of that solution. So I would really encourage people to think twice about the consequences of what you're doing. You know, we pick up trash. We'll have litter cleanups, waterway cleanups. You'll find trash that is old, that is days old, years old, decades old. It doesn't always disintegrate. It doesn't always just magically go away. It's going to end up in the waterways. It's going to end up in our water sources, our drainage ditches, our canals. It's going to get consumed by our wildlife. There's long-term consequences for that one moment of putting a piece of litter on the ground.
DOTD is partnering with Keep Louisiana Beautiful, and we are having 21 receptacles placed throughout the state at our local DOTD facilities for people that sign up for this option to collect aluminum cans, plastic bottles, and drop them off in these recycling bins. And this does two things. It helps remove litter from the roadsides, as well as divert that material from being brought to the landfills.
A clean state equals a quality of life for our citizens. And our citizens demand, they deserve a clean and beautiful place to play, to live, and to work. And you know, the problem that we have with litter is not something that's new. It's been around for decades, and we're finally making strides to prevent it and keep it off of our roadways. But it really is about engaging everyone. Like, everyone has a responsibility to solve this problem. The good news is it's 100% solvable, right? And so if everybody just took care of their space, right, their neighborhood, their business, their community, then we could solve this problem.
I think Love the Boot Week is just a reminder that we all live here, we love our state, it has challenges, but we know that we as the people of Louisiana can do something to improve our state. And Love the Boot Week is a very practical way that people can get engaged. You can get out with your family, with your church, with neighborhood groups, and clean up the area where you live and work. There are more than 1,000 volunteer events over the next week. You can join in one of those, or you can start your own. And whether it's this week or at any point during the year, we know there's no bad time to make Louisiana a cleaner place, a greener place. And this is a great reminder to do that work to make us all healthier and happier in the months to come.
If they knew what it cost to clean up that mess, they knew the harm it cost. This year I'm asking the legislature to ban releasing balloons. I can't tell you how many wildlife birds we've found with balloon wrappings around their neck, dead in the marsh. How many groups of balloons that street flooding has caused because they clog up the drains. Get your balloons, have your celebration, then pop them, put them in the garbage can. We don't need to release them. That's litter. And it's causing problems all over Louisiana. So we're going to tackle this from every angle. I just spoke to another school board. It's a law to teach about litter in school. We haven't been doing it to a great deal. We've got new manuals were produced given to the teachers. We also have a 4-minute video you should be watching before you take your driver's test. There's questions on the driving test about litter. The answers are in that video. So if our driving schools would show that video, people would understand why it's important not to litter. We're attacking this from all angles. We've given our sheriffs vans to take work release prisoners out to clean up their parish. Sheriffs are doing a great job. Our state police, DOTD, Wildlife and Fisheries, everybody has been a great team effort, and we see a lot of momentum. You see here today, we've got kids showed up, schools, universities, Everybody's involved. This is a movement for Louisiana and a war we're going to win against litter.